On the night of September 19th, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were driving home to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, when they claimed they were taken aboard a craft not of this earth. Their story became one of the most famous and controversial abduction cases in history, a case that still echoes through UFO research to this day. 64 years later, my friend Nelson and I set to retrace their exact pilgrimage, from Montreal down through the mountains of New Hampshire, on the same date, at the same hour, to step directly into their path, to see what they saw, and to feel the weight of that night for ourselves. And to help us tell this story, with the depth it deserves, I reached out to Betty Hill's own niece, Kathleen Martin, one of the foremost experts on her aunt's case and a voice that has carried the Hill legacy forward for decades. This is our journey into the unknown, following the footsteps of Betty and Barney Hill.
Well, I have never stopped investigating Betty and Barney's case. And so I have always sought out scientists who had laboratories and could do a scientific analysis of the evidence. I have always delved deeper and deeper into archival records, also investigation of their case myself, to carrying it to the furthest extent possible. So back when Stanton Friedman and I published our first book in 2007, we had a certain amount of information and evidence that we had collected to that point. But over the years, much more has taken place.
Betty and Barney Hill were an interracial couple living in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Betty was a social worker, Barney was a postal clerk and civil rights advocate. In mid-September 1961, they embarked on a spontaneous road trip to Montreal and Niagara Falls. The journey was unplanned, and they traveled without formal reservations, choosing motels as they went. What they experienced on their return journey changed their lives forever.